This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. Even when we know what makes us happy, it's hard to make the time for it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. For example, it's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/THPN today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/THPN. Enjoy the show.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk covering every team in the NHL. New episodes every Monday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.
What up, Sea of Red? You're listening to Into the Flames, a Calgary Flames fan podcast.
Your home for all things Flames and updates around the NHL.
With your hosts, Raja Burry and Noah Eppelston.
Into the Flames. New episodes every Sunday.
Hey everyone, as you can tell, I've got recent Stanley Cup champion and Flames forward Ryan Lomberg with me on the show today. Co-host couldn't make it to today's shoot, but we're just diehard fans running a fan platform, and we're not the traditional media team that you guys are exposed to every day. And honestly put, you've genuinely been a fan favorite to a lot of diehard fans in this market since your first go around in the organization. And yeah, you taking the time to do this means a lot to us.
Appreciate that, man. I'm happy to be here, so I'm looking forward to this.
The pop when the notification came out that you were signing here, it was like genuinely felt like, I think that was probably the first free agent signing where I was like, yo, he's back. Like, that's crazy. It was really dope. I told my dad, we were out to lunch and I was like, Ryan Lomberg's coming back, and we were big fans of you. So it's pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we're excited, man. It's going to be great. Obviously there's a little bit of familiarity with myself and the organization. So that's kind of one of the things that, drew me to Calgary again. And, I'm looking forward to obviously building off all of that.
Yeah. I mean, you've got this like aura about yourself. So I figured I'd just gas you up a bit before we start the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
So yeah, let's get right into it, I guess. How did you celebrate the Stanley Cup victory? What was your day with the cup like? Any memorable moments from the parade and celebrations you can share? I mean, I know that's 3 questions rolled into one, so answer any order you'd like.
Yeah, well, I'll just say I haven't had my day with the cup yet. So
okay.
That's coming up in a couple of weeks, obviously. Looking forward to that. As far as the celebration has gone, it was about fairly well documented that for about a week straight we sent it. We had some good partying, some late nights, a lot of drinks. It was obviously incredible. You go through war with these guys, and then to be able to kind of be on the top of the mountaintop and celebrating it with the guys you kind of went to war with all year. It was pretty special, man. I can't honestly, I don't know what the best part was. There's so many highlights. You kind of look back to either the big partying scenes, or even the small moments where you're just all kind of sitting around and the cup's there. Things are pretty special, in perspective of you working your whole life to kind of touch the Stanley Cup, and now that it's kind of just hanging out around you is something that tough to put into words. And then rolling into the parade was incredible. The amount of people that came out to support us, and it was pouring rain. I don't know if everybody knows that, but it was like lightning storms. It was miserable, and it almost made it that much more memorable, just because it wasn't a grind. It wasn't sunshine and rainbows like it usually is in South Florida. It was torrential downpours, so it just added a whole other element to it, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. So you haven't had your day with the cup yet. Do you have anything in mind for what you're going to do once you get it?
Yeah, so when things are starting to kind of come into form here. We're starting the day at the local police department. So there's the law enforcement does an incredible job down here, and especially the crew that works tight with the team. So it was important to me to be able to give back a little bit, so they'll be able to have a chance to bring their families in and take pictures with Stanley Cup and do that whole thing. And then we're gonna do a golf day, a little bit of a golf round, and then we're gonna end up at my community clubhouse. We're gonna do like a big pool party and bring in some carnival games and food trucks and that whole thing. So try to involve as many people from the community as possible.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, I did see the videos of the parade and how it was stormy. One video stood out though, and that was you crowd surfing. Was that just the booze, or did you have an idea that you were going to do that going in?
Yeah, I did it. I did it one of our party nights. It was a pretty epic scene, and one of the boys egged me on and said how sick it would be for somebody to crowd surf. So I kind of said, "Screw it, I'll be that guy." Got up on there, and then when we were at the parade, one of the guys said, "You got to do it again." So I'm obviously happy to include our fans in that cool moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess this offseason, post cup celebration and minus the training, have you gotten up to anything fun, I guess?
We at the very start of the off season, things move fairly quickly for us. Obviously, it's a short summer, and a lot of things are going on here. So we traveled a little bit to start, kind of visited my wife's family, then visited my family, kind of a few days in each city, and then back down here. We actually just got back from Bahamas a couple of days ago. Obviously, that's from down here. That's about a 30-minute flight, so it's a pretty easy trip. Other than that, man, no, it's just training away. Obviously, like I said, it's a short off season, so as much as you need kind of your rest and stuff, it's important to me to come prepared and ready to go. So it's kind of been on the front burner or the forefront here for the better part of 3 weeks, a month now.
Mm-hmm. So I guess before we get into the hockey questions, this is an important one, I guess, that we can ask to preface. How did the Lamborghini nickname originate?
That was actually my teammate when I was in Stockton, Morgan Klimchuk. He's the originator of the Lamborghini. First started calling me Lamborghini, called me Guinea. It kind of died down a little bit, I would say, kind of in my Stockton days, and then when I came to Florida, it kind of has had a big resurgence, and now it's kind of this huge thing. So I'm lucky. It's definitely one of the cooler nicknames I think out there. So happy to be repping that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing here. That's not dying down anytime soon. I'm just
Oh yeah, that's what I figured. I'm excited to bring it to the Sea of Red. I know how passionate you guys can be, so I'm obviously incredibly excited to be back with you guys.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm curious because you disclosed in an earlier interview, like after your signing was announced on Free Agent Frenzy on July 1st, that you had a sort of gut feel inclination that you'd end up back in Calgary. And I know you mentioned familiarity here at the start of the show, but what gave you that hunch, I guess, in a year where you were on a Stanley Cup winning team, and what ultimately made you decide to return?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think part of it is that I've kind of always wanted to be there. So I guess it was always kind of a hope that I would be back. When I left, I thought, I can be more a part of it. And now that I'm coming back, I guess I'm excited to get that opportunity. I don't know how much more I can say about it. Other than, I guess it was just a hope. And funny how things play out. We couldn't be more excited about the opportunity ahead of us.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I guess to fill in some context holes for fans who may not know, you previously played 11 games with the big club under Glenn Gulutzan and Bill Peters, who were the bench bosses at the time between 17-18 and the 18-19 season. But I'm curious if you could give us a little behind the scenes picture to us fans on what Ryan Huska is like as a head coach, like from a player's perspective. Like, I guess it's easy for fans to have an opinion one way or the other pretty much on everything in pro sports, but we're obviously not in the dressing room, and he's heading into year 2 as the bench boss now. And you had him as your head coach in Stockton, which was obviously a different situation for both him and you. at the time, but I figure there's got to be a little bit of excitement about a reunion at the NHL level, right?
Yeah, of course. That's another thing I looked at. Husk and I, we have a great relationship, like you said, going back to the Stockton days. Personally, I think Husk is a guy that is able to get the most out of me, which is kind of what you need in a coach. And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for Huska and what he's able to do as a coach and a motivator and a teacher and all that stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to getting back under his command and going to work for him again. And further through that note, actually, Cale McLean too, the assistant coach, had me in Adirondack in the East Coast Hockey League. He was my head coach. So to be back working with those guys, I'm very excited. I feel like I've grown a ton, and they were a big part of it. Looking back, a handful of years ago, so I'm excited to be back with them.
Yeah, awesome. I just realized the way I asked that question made it sound like an absolute essay. Like, so
No.
Yeah, there's a world. Yeah,
we're just rolling.
Yeah. There's a world there where that could have been summarized in 2 sentences. So now would be a good time to drop in a word from our sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook. You know the beautiful thing about being a sports fan? There's only like 2 days the whole year without a game. 2. With so much happening and so much action, that makes just about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. Super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It really couldn't be any easier or any simpler. And if you're new to DraftKings, you gotta check this out. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, you must be 21 years of age, and age varies by jurisdiction. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. See the terms and responsible gaming resources at dkng.co/base. Back to the show. So your energy and physicality are well known on the ice. How do you prepare yourself sort of mentally and physically over the summer and in season in order to maintain that level of intensity in your game night in and out? Because feels like a role that not many players are able to consistently excel at anymore. And you're one of those guys who bring it, and that's why you're a fan favorite. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I guess like a part of the energy would probably, I would say, come from just sheer love of the game, like how much fun I genuinely have out there. For me, it's not a job. For me, it's not really a grind. The season's obviously physically taxing, but the fact that you're out there with your best buddies and you're playing a game you love is something that I'm incredibly thankful for. So I'll always come to the rink with a smile on my face and upbeat and energetic, just because of the situation. And obviously it's not easy, kind of being physical and hard 82 games, 82 nights out of the year. It's physically demanding. It's tough to hate your opponents over and over and over again. I think something that helps me is like my love for the boys too, the kind of camaraderie we have in that room, and knowing that that's something I can bring to the team, and something that I hold myself responsible for, kind of being the instigator in that department, at least. Whether other guys are doing it or not, that's that's not up to me. Something I know I can take care of is coming to the rink prepared to be energetic and physical and stuff like that. And then kind of going into my summer training, I do a lot of upbeat sprint work, stuff like that. So my training regimen is usually I guess I would say more explosive, upbeat, fast kick versus kind of slower work like that. So it's just kind of who I am these days now, is hit the ground running 100 miles an hour type thing, whether it's during the season, off season, practice, workout, everything's kind of fast and intense.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we could double down on that hating your opponent's comment with this one. This is a little bit of a fun hockey question here. So, after starting your career out in the Flames organization and now recently seeing the Oilers in the Cup final, what's the excitement level like to be a crucial part of the Battle of Alberta again?
Yeah, 10 for sure. That's an easy question. It was weird being away. I know how big of a rivalry it is, and down in South Florida, we've had a pretty good rivalry, or have had a pretty good rivalry with the Lightning. So I kind of had a left the rivalry in the Battle of Alberta, had one down here, and now going back to the Battle of Alberta. It's cool. I don't want to say how much more important it is, but it is a bigger deal to people in Alberta and up there. It's just a bigger market. It's the gravity of the situation is more intense and heavier without a doubt. So to be back, and I like to think that the biggest rivalry in hockey is something I'm tremendously looking forward to, because as you know, that's kind of something that fuels me is that hatred. And I'm excited to be back with Calgary and to go to battle against those guys.
Yeah, awesome. I wasn't going to accept an answer any less than 10, so I was going to edit that
Yeah,
out.
no, there is no answer other than 10.
Yeah, exactly. You could take this next question from a lens at looking at the time you had spent in the city in the past, but do you have any favorite spots around town that you're excited to revisit again?
Remember there's a Italian steakhouse called Mercato that we would go to a bunch. So I'm excited to get back there, but really so many good spots that I don't remember the names to, but remember the guys taking me to and stuff, and just the overall vibe of the city. I just the city as a whole I love and feel comfortable in, and I'm excited to bring the family out and make it home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got two little ones here now at home and another one on the way. So as far as hobbies go, there's really not too much time for to be playing games outside of training for hockey and spending time with the kids and kind of doing what they want. Luckily right now my son is in a big golf swing. So it's fun to be able to hit the ball around with him and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as like outside hobbies go, yeah, not much, man. It's just, go grind in the morning, work out, skate, and then come home and spend some much needed time with the family.
What's your music taste like? Like if someone handed over the aux cord, what are you blasting?
I'm pretty easy, man. I'm one of those, I know it's a cliche answer, but I really do like everything. I think it's like, depending on what the vibe is and what the atmosphere is like. Country's a pretty easy thing to listen to in the morning. And, before a game, I'd probably go more towards, rap or rock or stuff like that. So for me, I think there's a time for, all different types of music. So I'm one of the guys that's easy to please in the locker room when somebody's DJing.
Yeah. Last one for you here. Don't want to hold you for too long, but you're coming back to what feels like a reset period now for the organization. What are you looking forward to the most regarding the future of Flames hockey?
Yeah, I'm excited to come in and just be the player and teammate I can be. Bring that intense, 100% effort kind of atmosphere with me. I remember when I first signed in Florida, they were kind of going through a transition period as well. And Patrick Hornquist was, I think single-handedly one of the most influential people to kind of change the organization from being, kind of more laid back country club feeling to, we're here to win now. We're here to work as hard as we can now. So, I'm excited to kind of take the page out of his book and bring that intensity and that fire every day. It doesn't matter if it's game day, practice day, training camp. Things can happen fast, and I want to be a part of that change and bringing that winning culture back. And I believe we can do it. I wouldn't have signed here if I didn't believe that. So I'm excited to be a part of it, man. Like I said, things happen fast. So we're gonna get to camp and we're gonna get to work and we're gonna see how things go.
Let's go. That's a good way to end it. So thanks, Ryan.
Oh
This
yeah,
was awesome.
yeah. You did great, man. You did great. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, if you guys like this episode, feel free to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe for more Flames related content. Go Flames go, and thanks for listening.
Go Flames go.